Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. Recently, we have received somber news about the passing of some extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. We will also recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Gina Rowlands, a multiple Emmy winner whose captivating work in A Woman Under the Influence, and as the elder and dementia-ridden Allie in The Notebook also moved moviegoers, died Wednesday surrounded by family at her home in Indian Wells, California. She was 94. No cause of death was given, but the retired actress had been battling Alzheimer's disease. Ironic in light of her famous film role. She retired from Hollywood in 2015 after earning 4 Emmy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, and 2 Oscar nominations. Her Oscar noms included A Woman Under the Influence and Gloria, both born of collaborations with her late husband, John Cassavetes. The duo made an indelible mark on American independent film, not just for the often revelatory end product, but also for the DIY way they made their movies. A Woman Under the Influence was prompted by Rowlands, who wanted to delve into the difficulties faced by American women in their lives and relationships. When Cassavetes could not raise the money for the film, they mortgaged their house and borrowed from family and friends to make it happen. They shot with a crew made up in part by AFI students, and not on a pricey, purpose-built soundstage set, but in an actual residence in Hollywood. Rowlands won Primetime Emmys for The Betty Ford Story, Face of a Stranger, and Hysterical Blindness, as well as a Daytime Emmy for The Incredible Mrs. Ritchie. She earned 5 more nominations from the Television Academy, the first in 1985 for her part as the mother of a young man with AIDS in the groundbreaking An Early Frost. Her son, director and actor Nick Cassavetes, spoke to Entertainment Weekly about the Notebook role. Born in Cambria, Wisconsin, Rowland moved to New York after a stint in regional theater and made her Broadway debut in The 7-Year Itch, touring in a national production of the play. In 1956, she starred in the Broadway play Middle of the Night opposite Edward G. Robinson. Rowlands co-starred in the 26-episode syndicated TV series Top Secret and guest starred on many TV anthology series. She later was a regular guest on many top TV shows. In 1959, Rowlands appeared in the Western series Laramie, and later alongside her husband, John Cassavetes, in the detective series Johnny Staccato. Rowlands made her film debut in The High Cost of Living in 1958. Rowlands and Cassavetes made 10 films together, including Faces, A Woman Under the Influence, which garnered a Best Actress nomination, and 1980's Gloria, which also spawned a Best Actress Oscar nomination. Rowlands was married to him from April 9, 1954, until his death on February 3, 1989. Survivors include her husband Robert and children Nick, Alexandra, and Zoe Cassavetes. Phil Donahue, the longtime host of the trend-setting TV talk show, The Phil Donahue Show, died Sunday evening following a long illness, surrounded by family including his longtime wife, actor Marlo Thomas. He was 88. His death was announced on the Today Show this morning. Today shared a statement from Donahue's family. See the announcement below. Calling Donahue a daytime staple, who pioneered a format that had been replicated by others, Today hosts noted that Donahue had been presented a Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Joe Biden just this summer. Donahue was married to Thomas for more than 40 years, having met when the That Girl star met Donahue when she was a guest on his talk show. The family statement reads, groundbreaking TV talk show journalist Phil Donahue died Sunday night at home surrounded by his wife of 44 years, Marlo Thomas, his sister, his children, grandchildren, and his beloved golden retriever, Charlie. Donahue was 88 years old and passed away peacefully following a long illness. Donahue was born December 21, 1935 in Cleveland, and in the late 1950s embarked on a career as a radio journalist, at first in his hometown and then Adrian, Michigan. But it was his TV work in Dayton, Ohio, that truly launched not only Donahue's career, but what would become a novel and highly influential style of daytime talk TV. In 1959, he was hired as a TV reporter at Dayton's WHIO, where his empathetic style of interviewing was first noticed by the public and his bosses. Within 4 years, he also had a radio call-in show called Conversation Piece for WHIO's affiliated radio station. Within several more years, he had taken his talk endeavor to TV, hosting a business show and co-anchoring the evening news. In 1967, he was scooped up by a competing Dayton station, WLWD, who offered him a daytime morning interview show with a studio audience. With a studio audience that was treated by Donahue with respect, the host would make his way through the seats and hand over the mic to audience members with questions for guests. The Phil Donahue Show became a Dayton area staple and favorite. Donahue is regarded as an early advocate for women, giving his largely female audience the opportunity to speak and ask questions on serious topics rather than the home EC subjects that so many daytime talkers focused on. John Aprea, the actor known for his roles in The Godfather Part 2 and Full House, has died. He was 83. According to his manager, Will Levine, Aprea died of natural causes on Monday, August 5th at his Los Angeles home, where he was surrounded by family. Born March 4, 1941 in Englewood, New Jersey, Aprea made his on-screen debut in 1968's Bullitt, alongside Steve McQueen. He went on to one of his most memorable performances as young Tessio in The Godfather Part 2 after auditioning to play Michael Corleone in Francis Ford Coppola's original 1972 film. Aprea once said working with Coppola and actors Al Pacino and Robert De Niro was the high point of his career, adding, "I was surrounded by the best in The Godfather." He also appeared in such films as The Stepford Wives, New Jack City, The Game, Dead Man on Campus, and The Manchurian Candidate. Aprea had a recurring role on Full House, and later Fuller House, as Jesse's father, Nick Katsopoulos. His TV credits also include The Gangster Chronicles, Matt Houston and Knots Landing, as well as episodes of Wonder Woman, Three's a Crowd, The A-Team, Alfred Hitchcock, Presents, The Fall Guy, Falcon Crest, Tales from the Dark Side, Night Court, Melrose Place, Saved by the Bell, The New Class, and The Sopranos. Aprea's Knots Landing co-star Paul Carafotes paid tribute to the late actor on Saturday. "We had lots of laughs," he wrote in part. "We met on the set of CBS television show Knots Landing 1987 over 40 years ago. Many will miss this man. Rest, old friend. I'll see you on the other side." French acting star Alain Delon, whose many iconic roles included Le Samouraï, Plein Soleil, and The Leopard, has died in France at the age of 88. The actor's children said in a statement that their father had passed away in the early hours of Sunday, surrounded by his family and beloved Belgian shepherd Lubo, in his longtime chateau home in the village of Douchy, in the Le Loiret region, some 100 miles south of Paris. Delon's death marks the passing of one of the last surviving icons of the French cinema scene of the 1960s and 70s, when the country was on an economic roll as it reconstructed in the wake of World War II. The star, who was at the peak of this career from the 1960s to the 1980s, fell into acting by chance. Born on November 8, 1935 in the Paris suburb of Sceaux, he had a turbulent childhood after his parents divorced when he was still young. After training briefly as a butcher in his stepfather's business, he entered military school at the age of 17. After being caught stealing equipment, he was given the choice of expulsion or signing up for a tour of duty in Southeast Asia. Delon fought in the Battle of Dien Bien Phu in 1954, but wound up in trouble again after he crashed a Jeep he had stolen and returned to France in 1956. Having moved to Paris, where he did odd jobs to make ends meet, Delon got his first introduction to the cinema world through his relationship with actress Brigitte Aubert, who had recently appeared in Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief. After they hooked up, she took him to the Cannes Film Festival in 1957, where he met the actor and director Jean-Claude Brialy, as well as his future agent Georges Baume. "I came down with a girl that I liked, who loved me. I took it all in, did the red carpet, but even then, I felt at home. Not least, and I say this without pretension, because it was made clear to me that I was not bad looking," he told a Cannes masterclass in 2019. His next big break came via the actress Michel Cordoue, with whom he had an affair. She convinced her husband, director Yves Allégret, to give him a small role in his film Quand la femme s'en mêle. Delon was candid about the role women had played in his early career. If I hadn't met the women I met, I would have died long ago. It's the women, I don't know why, who loved me, who got me into this profession, who wanted me to do it, and who fought for me to do it. He told a masterclass at the Cannes Film Festival in 2019. His career took off quickly from there, with Delon then appearing in Marc Allegre's Sois belle et tais-toi, which also featured Jean-Paul Belmondo in the cast, followed by Pierre Gaspard Huit's Christine, which would see Delon appear opposite Romy Schneider.